Hi Greenwood, my name is Dylan Sulfur and I grew up in River Falls and I also went to Greenwood Elementary School. I am a guitar player and my introduction to music education was at Greenwood Elementary with Miss Jantscher, the same teacher you have. Like I said, I play guitar now for a living. I started in 4th or 5th grade and just stuck with it. It's something I really love to do, probably my favorite thing in the whole world. And it all started at Greenwood in music class. I want to talk a little bit about practicing because there's no way I would have got here if it weren't for practicing. It started out with the love of music, and then it was, okay, I have to focus and practice to be able to get better and to move forward. And the fun thing about it is no matter how long you do it, or if you're just starting, there's always something to learn and something you need to practice. So whether it's, 10, 20 minutes a day, whatever you're doing, if you're playing basketball, if you're learning an instrument, you need to focus if it's something you really want to pursue and practice very hard. Your teacher asked a little bit about my guitar and wanted me to talk about it. This is my main guitar. I mainly play electric. I play both electric and acoustic, but I mainly play electric guitar because I play in a lot of bands. And the one I like the most is the Fender Telecaster. The Telecaster was the first solid body electric guitar. You see acoustic guitars where they're hollow and they have a hole. This is the first one where it's a solid piece of wood and electric. And the need for it was in the late 40s when pop and rock music really started becoming a thing. They were amplifying acoustics, putting them into an amplifier, but in order to get them loud enough to play over a band and to a lot of people, it would feedback and they would have a lot of sound problems. So they needed to make a solid body guitar so the guitar didn't vibrate and it wasn't out of control. And the Fender Telecaster was the very first guitar that was solid and commercially available. And I think they got it right out of the gate, the very first one. This is my favorite. That's kind of a history on electric guitar. Basically, these two things right here are magnets, and they pick up, the strings are metal, and they pick up the vibration of the string, and you're able to amplify it through the amp. So if you turn down the volume, it takes that sound and they pick it up, and when the volume is engaged, that will come through an amp. I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing now and for a career. For the past couple years, I've been playing with a guy named Bernard Allison, who has been around a long time, and I tour a lot with him, and a lot of that is overseas in Europe, and we're planning on going to places like Japan and Australia soon, and South America. In the past year alone, I think I've been to well over a dozen countries just to play music. And the very special thing about it is I can be somewhere like Germany or Italy, Spain, and these people may not be able to speak the same language as I do, and I can't speak theirs, but when you play music, you can communicate with each other and they can feel what you're talking about and trying to say. So music to me is just another language, but one that everybody can understand and relate to, no matter what. You don't really have to learn it. It's something that you can feel right out of the gate. It's very special. I'll talk a little bit about the different sounds you can make on the guitar. It's a lot like your voice. You can make lots of different sounds with your voice depending on how you decide to speak or open your mouth, for example. You can open your mouth just a little bit or a lot and it changes the way it sounds, or you can cover up with your hand and it gets muffled. And you can do the same types of things on an instrument depending on how you play them. It's a lot like talking, like a language, as I said. So you can hit it soft and more muffled, or if you hit it harder, it's sharp and louder. And that's the same exact note. It's just it's an attitude in the way you decide to say the same word. You can say one word 1,000 different ways. And you can do the same thing with an instrument. And these knobs and switches on here enhance that even more. Like I was talking about earlier, this one is the tone knob, and it's very similar as you roll it down as to when you cover up your mouth and it gets muffled. If you roll it all the way down, it's a more muffled sound. If you turn it up, it's a lot sharper and clearer. Influences are really important playing music and in all aspects of life. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my biggest inspirations. It's important to really dive in and study the music that really inspires you when you're trying to learn, because you can take that, and the more you learn about it, the more you can take what they've done and turn it into something your own after you study it. And that is how music keeps evolving and has for hundreds of years. A lot of my favorite musicians are R&B, soul, blues musicians. Mainly from the 70s and late 60s, a lot of, at least, starting out on guitar, that's the stuff that really inspired me a lot. And now, I have influences all over the board as far, hip hop, pop, country, but a lot of the inspiration I draw from is more soul music from the 60s and 70s. Stevie Wonder, who's on my shirt right here, is probably my favorite musician of all time, tied with Joni Mitchell, who was a lady from the same kind of era, late 60s, early 70s. And Joni was like a folk rock artist, and Stevie is R&B, soul, pop. Both of them are incredible, and I still draw inspiration from them and learn something every time I hear their music. I'm gonna head out with a song here at the end. I'm gonna play a song by one of my favorite bands called The Band. They were Bob Dylan's band for many, many years. And this song was written and sang by the drummer Lee Von Helm, and it's called Ophelia.
bum,